I am in therapy.
I am in therapy.
I am in therapy.
I'm in therapy.
I'm in therapy.
I'm in therapy.
I am in therapy.
Have you ever been to therapy?
Me personally, I have not. I've thought about going just for reasons. I haven't actually gone. I don't know if it'll actually benefit me at all or not.
When I was younger, I used to act out a lot.
I can see that.
Like I could, I just start fights out of nowhere. Just like everything would really like piss me off. I would get very, very annoyed at like life in general.
I've had other people start fights with me, but I've never actually initiated a fight with anybody.
People would just do shit and I didn't like the shit that they did. I wouldn't take shit from nobody. I wouldn't go out of my way to start a fight. But like if someone did something I didn't like, I'm not gonna just fucking go along with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You said I ain't no bitch.
Yeah, no. Well, that's where I was at that point in my life.
Yeah.
Now I realize it's just not worth like getting a fight. Basically, when I was younger, my mom took me to like a therapist. It didn't really help.
I was gonna say, do you feel like it helped at all?
No, not at all. Because like as a child, you don't really understand concepts that they're trying to teach you.
Yeah.
You just can't really grasp it. She tried to focus too much on eating. Like, yeah. So she would like make it to where like,
so she thought you were acting out and you're angry because you were overeating.
I don't know what she thought. Oh, you gotta eat like very slowly and
That's
like
so weird.
She would do weird shit like one cookie and she'd say like, oh, take like a little bite and you gotta like savor it and chew for like 5 minutes and like just do like weird shit. And so she's just like,
so she was trying to train you to eat better
for like fucking, I don't know,
and not like eat fast or overeat.
Yeah, just like eat like very, very slowly and like.
Were you there for eating or were you there for your acting out?
No, I was there for my acting out.
Then why is she fucking talking about eating?
I don't know. Then she would go like, oh, you don't hit people. If you're angry, take it out on a pillow.
There's no pillow nearby, my guy. Punch that kid who's giving me shit.
Yeah, go ahead and punch the pillow and scream and let it out. And I'm like
trying to have you like assert your aggressiveness elsewhere instead of onto a person.
They didn't help. Maybe it works on other people, but like my mind was just in that mindset of like, I'm not taking shit from nobody, so this isn't really helping. But it actually made things worse. It just aggravated me more to like not do what she wanted to do. Like it makes you rebellious, right?
Yeah.
Somebody tells you not to do something, you're just gonna want to do it more.
Yeah.
But at that point in my life, I was either too young and I just didn't care. And over time, I just kind of grew out of it. Like I said, I like realized, hey, it's causing more trouble than it's worth. Like it's not worth fighting over shit anymore.
I've had people like, bully me and shit because I'm a ginger. Nobody likes a fucking ginger. So then the only time I ever escalated to any kind of violence is if somebody was fucking with me.
I used to like pick on people and like they would pick back and I just wouldn't take shit from nobody. When they would pick on me back, I just fucking start a fight. Like,
you're like, I'm the bully. You can't bully me back. Fuck you.
That's why I try not to like make fun of people or poke fun of people now.
Like I say, it's kind of crazy at this point. You're a very passive person.
Now I go out of my way not to make fun of people and not joke around and not do all this.
Yeah.
Because I know I can take a lot of shit right now.
Also, you're an adult now, so you have more consequences.
I go out of my way not to joke around, so then people don't joke around with me.
Oh yeah.
If someone eventually gets on my nerves, like for example, like me and Malik, I love Malik, but sometimes he does some shit that's like annoying, and I just like, I don't know, just gets under my skin a little bit, and it's just like, just gotta step away. That's basically where I'm at with like therapy. I just felt like it didn't really help me. Now, if I were to go, I'd want to talk about like other things, like my like life and like childhood trauma, and I'm also afraid that if I were to go now, it wouldn't help, but it would just bring shit up that I don't think it's fixable.
Yeah, see, that's another thing that I think. Like, I have put a lot of serious thought into going to therapy, and at one point I was trying to find a good therapist for me, a good fit that I could afford and stuff. I'm gonna obviously be talking about all this stuff. It's gonna bring it up, and what the fuck is the therapist gonna tell me that I don't already know? That's gonna clear this from my conscious and clear my anxieties and stuff. I just don't think it's gonna help unless I have some kind of medication. I don't think it's gonna help.
All right, let's talk about trauma.
Are we trauma dumping?
Let's dive right into it.
What if we started like this? What if we all talk about maybe when we started therapy, how many therapists we've seen probably, and then
people go to multiple therapists?
We're grateful for?
Sure, I love that.
My name's Franco. I've been in therapy for about a year and a half. I'm grateful to just
Damn, that
be
guy has
able
a
to
lot of
communicate
tattoos.
just because of it. And, you know, just able to talk properly.
Watch him be the one
without
guy who's
just
not
throwing
in
my emotions
therapy.
out.
I've been in therapy since 2019, which would be sophomore year for me in high school. I've actually only had one, and I feel really, really lucky for that. But my dad is a therapist, and my mom is like a counselor.
I don't think this guy's been in fucking therapy.
And so they were able to find me a therapist in sophomore year.
I was a little suspicious because like, oh, his parents are therapists. As a natural young man, you're rebellious against your parents. That would already make me not like therapy at all.
I've been going to therapy for about 4 years now. I think the beautiful thing about therapy is like you have the option to choose what's best suited for you. You shouldn't just like give up on it. And right now I'm currently working with a therapist. We talk every Wednesday and it's been like phenomenal. We've been with each other for almost a year now. And I love it.
My fear of going to a therapist nowadays, like I said, is it gonna help me?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the wrong way to go about it, but it's like a lifelong struggle. And even with therapy, like you're never gonna get fully fixed.
Yeah.
You just kind of like learn to like accept things. I don't want to like spend time and energy in something I can't fix.
Yeah.
It might make it better, but the issues are still there.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just paralyzed
Kinda
in
the same way.
that sense. Other people that have had depression and shit, like they don't really seem to get much better. They just have good days and they have their bad days, and
And everybody does.
sometimes it doesn't help.
People have different experiences. I've heard people say, oh, it really helped me out, helped me see things in a different light. I've
Yeah.
thought about things over and over again in 20 different ways. I don't think I'm going to see any difference in the way I think about things.
It's kind of weird, right? It would have to be like a male or somebody that I could look at like as a mentor in a way, like someone that like has gone through what I've gone through and like
Yeah.
has a better perspective on things. At that time, they put me with an old lady, and like I felt like the lady just wasn't relatable.
Yeah.
Like I said, she was focused on like eating and yelling at a pillow and shit. Like you feel like the world's out to get you, and you're just like basically you're denying like what's happening to them, as opposed to being like, hey, yeah, like let's try to get to like the root of your issues, versus just like expressing yourself in a different way that is more acceptable.
Because she gave you the child treatment, like she treated it like a child. You're not going to tell a grown-ass adult to punch a pillow. So then that kind of makes you feel like she's looking down on you and treating you like a child, which you are, but like as a child, you don't think that way.
Yeah, you're just, I don't know. Or maybe it were to work when it's somebody else. But for me at that stage of my life, like I was very mature.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would understand concepts that other people wouldn't. It kind of like felt like she was like denying what I was doing or how I was feeling, as opposed to like accepting what I was feeling.
You're an angry person. How about you punch a pillow instead of a person?
I'm Beth, and I've been in therapy for 6 months now. I'm on my first therapist.
He looks shifty like a motherfucking liar.
The thing that I was looking for was
Maybe they all go to
color,
therapy.
just because they have that. They just understand the culture and kind of what we've all
See,
been
he wants to
through.
find somebody relatable as well.
I'm Gerardo. I started therapy probably when I was in middle school, but it was very on and off. And I guess what I've struggled with is just, like you guys said, I think finding someone who could resonate with your life path is really what I'm looking for.
like
And I
Josh
think with my
Peck.
current therapist, you also have to put in the work and be honest. Like, I think that's a key thing too. Like, you can't, if you lie to your therapist, they can't help you. I'm realizing that part of it is putting in the work myself and being able to be honest with my therapist. And at first, we weren't really vibing, but we were starting to get each other now.
All right, so now they're voting. I really think that they're gonna try to vote the guy that just barely started. I don't think he's the mole, but that's just what they're gonna go with, is what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, more than likely.
I don't see them picking anyone else.
At this point, who do you think it is?
I
Dude with
think
the
they all go to
tattoos?
therapy.
You do? You think it's gonna be one of those?
I could see them all going to therapy.
I feel like it's the dude with the tattoos because he's got the tattoo therapy. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
Finding out that he has family that is in the therapy
Serious?
profession, I was like, that's a little convenient.
Actually have a tie. Veth and Cirrus.
Yeah.
I started therapy to help me work through some traumatic experiences that I went through in early high school. I believe the type of therapy that my therapist specializes in is called narrative therapy. He has me kind of walk through my experiences that I went through, and then he helps me like shift my perspective on them away from, wow, this was this horrible thing that happened to me, specifically with dealing with things that happened in early high school. And I've been seeing him for 2.5 years.
I don't know. I find it weird that he just kind of like describes what the therapy is.
I mean, I think he's just trying to, you know, explain to them this is the process that they've been going through.
But like they said, their family.
A lot of people in his family are therapists.
So he just probably just heard something from somewhere.
I mean,
like
probably.
it's a possibility. We'll see.
So since starting therapy, I've learned a bunch of different coping mechanisms. One of the things that brought me into therapy was abusing alcohol. And I'm going through kind of just the very beginning stages of learning different mental disorders like ADHD and starting to work with psychiatrists and everything.
Around 2016, there was a motorcycle accident that took the life of one of my closest friends from the Marine Corps. Obviously, with the military, that's prolonged use of alcohol, so like that's never an easy thing to deal with. I was like, okay, if I don't get help now, I'm about to self-sabotage and literally, like, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Yeah, so I went about 2 years ago. I started off with like, I got out of a relationship that was it shouldn't have been really brutal, but it really was brutal on me. And then I realized that all the relationships around me were the same as that, and so they're all hollow. And so I realized I was looking at other people to get value from them.
As men too, I don't know about how you guys feel, but it's kind of taught that we're not supposed to feel, and then we learn how to suppress our emotions. I always thought I was a people pleaser, but I know I've also hurt people. I have a substance abuse problem, and I like to say hurt people, but healed people, heal people.
He sounded so scripted, not saying that what he says wasn't genuine, but it just sounded so rehearsed that I was like, okay, that might be something.
No, I definitely agree with you, you know, especially like in the Black culture, you know, it's a stigma for us to just even talk about like our emotions. Like we mask a lot of our emotions in humor because that's just how like we talk about stuff. But you know, especially myself being military, it's like I got like 3 whammies against me. It's like military, Black, man, yeah, we need to talk about the stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
You could potentially just go off of your entire experience on your mental health and not be lying at all and still be the mole. You can have depression and, you know, have gone through things but not gone to therapy.
Yeah, I find myself watching a lot of mental health like videos, like stuff that like talks about like changing your mindset, picking up like certain things or strategies to like help you cope with things.
Yeah.
Recently I haven't been to therapy. I felt like a lot of those, like especially like Dr. K and stuff like that, like really helps.
Yeah.
For the time being, it like helps clear my mind. And it makes me kind of think about things a little bit in a different kind of light. It's a resource that's there, but it kind of stops you from also going.
There are a lot
to
of
seek actual help.
There are a lot of videos, like even on YouTube itself, like about therapy and stuff.
It also puts a barrier, like, oh hey, I have like this meditation thing I could do here, and like so and so said it's okay, so then you end up not going.
Personally, I just throw on some music or put on a video game or anime, or I just try not to think about things. I try to fill my brain with so many other things so I don't have to think about things. I know that's not the healthy way you're supposed to do things, but that's the way I do things.
Yeah, it's like a coping thing.
Yeah.
Like I've been like very stressed out sometimes, and like unfortunately it does help, right? Like you could be like very stressed out about something, and then like you just pick something to like take your mind off of it, and the problem seems to go away.
Yeah, temporarily though. But I guess everything's temporary.
Yeah.
Even if you're talking to somebody else about your problems and telling them your feelings of, okay, I got that out of the way, you know, you're going to feel a little bit relieved, but that's temporary. It's going to come back.
So there was the one time I was like very, very stressed out. I was at work. I think I told you like I felt very, very bad. I was like sick and tired of working at the hospital.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I come across these like bounty hunter on Facebook or whatever. Yeah. And like I end up binging like 3 hours of it, and like out of seeing other people do dumb shit, like just straight up like dumb mistakes, like trying to run away from cops, or like telling them like, oh hey, I have like a marijuana in the back of my car and like, oh, you're not gonna arrest me if I tell you, right? And he goes like, no, I'm not gonna arrest you. And then like he just arrests them like right away. Just like doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Or like trying to like fight with a fucking police officer. Just stupid stuff that like gets you in more trouble than you really needed to be in.
Yeah.
I found comfort in like other people's dumb mistakes.
So seeing other people have a worse life than you made you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, so
Something on that line.
and then by the end of it, like I forgot what I was stressed about.
Yeah, I mean, I have had moments where I would like not think about something, and then I would think, oh hey, I haven't thought about that thing, you know. But then I've shifted myself back to thinking about it because it kind of brought up my head. Oh hey, I haven't been thinking about that for the past hour. So
I tend to find that even if I were to go back and think about it, usually I can kind of step away and be like, oh hey, that's not as big as a problem as it seems.
I have a problem with hyper focusing on things,
Like I said,
like the bad things that I think about. So
if I'm in the mindset, it's kind of like it feels like everything's super overwhelming. But once I'm out of it, I can kind of stay out of it for a little bit.
Damn, guys, you did me dirty. That's okay. It's okay. All love. All love.
A people pleaser. Like at a certain point, I kind of lost what my identity was.
Bro.
And so I was just like, I would kind of blend into whatever anybody needed at that point in
You don't
time.
even see that.
Yeah.
It's so hard to
Yeah,
see.
and so I just wasn't processing that I wasn't looking after myself at all or what I wanted. Like I thought, oh, you know, got to get married, have kids, because that's what you do. And then I like asked myself, why do I want that? And it's like, oh, because my parents did that.
That could potentially be a strategy too, is kind of get lost in the noise type attitude. So I was like, okay, if I was a mole, that could be easy to find a lie in there.
I feel you 100% on that. I'm in my 30s, haven't held a relationship down for X amount of time. It's like, and my parents never pressured me to get married or have children. I always put the pressure on myself. Never. So like, even just trying to deal with that when therapy is like something to talk about right now.
I resonate so heavily with what you're saying about being whoever you need to be
Doesn't
for the people around
like
you.
his attire look like it's from like that
biggest thing
70s show?
lately is figuring out
a little
how to
bit, yeah.
put my own needs
I'm pretty
first.
sure I've seen like
So
that
hard,
exact
so.
pants and shirt
They
on
become a part
somebody
of
in
your life, and then
the
that
show or
pillar
It's
something.
definitely an Eric.
and then it's
Eric
your
put
fault,
together.
you know?
Yeah.
Dang it. All right, boys.
If you think the mole is still in the box and you want to continue the game, raise your hand.
You think they got it?
I think everybody went to therapy, to be honest.
No, I trust too easily.
Well, there you go.
Sometimes it's good to have trust issues. Go with your gut.
Will the mole reveal themselves in 3, 2,
Which nobody have gone to fucking therapy.
1.
It was him.
So sorry.
That was the first person everybody had suspicions about. Well, guys, that was it. Go to therapy, I guess. I don't think I will.
Yeah. Sometime.
Yeah, no, that was crazy that literally everybody was thinking it was that one specific person, and then he ended up winning still.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like, subscribe, do all that shit. See you later.